Imagine this. You're about to enjoy a meal, the aroma filling the air, when suddenly a thought crosses your mind. Why can't I have that? It's a question many of us have asked, whether we're born into the faith or new to Islam. Why does Islam forbid certain foods and drinks? Is it purely about health, or is there something deeper at play? Today we're diving into the profound wisdom behind these dietary laws, rules that have guided the lives of millions for centuries. Let's explore how these teachings are more than just guidelines for what we eat. They are spiritual principles that elevate our lives and bring us closer to Allah. Before we delve into the specifics of why certain foods and drinks are forbidden in Islam, let's take a moment to appreciate the profound significance of food in our daily lives. Food is not just something we consume to satisfy hunger. It's a blessing, a precious gift from Allah. It sustains our bodies, nourishes our souls, and even unites us as a community. Think about it. How often do we come together with family and friends over a shared meal? It's in those moments that we experience the true essence of connection, gratitude, and love. In Islam, the importance of food goes beyond just its ability to fill our stomachs. It's a means of recognizing Allah's infinite mercy and provision. But here's where things get interesting. What if, among the vast array of foods available to us, there are some that, despite seeming harmless, are actually harmful to our spiritual and physical well-being? Allah, in His infinite wisdom, has provided us with guidance on what is good and pure for us. And in Surah Al-Baqarah, 272, He clearly reminds us of the importance of being grateful for the sustenance He provides. O you who have believed, eat from the good things which we have provided for you, and be grateful to Allah, if it is Him that you worship. Notice the emphasis here on good things. The term doesn't just refer to food that is delicious or enjoyable. It refers to food that is pure, beneficial, and in line with our spiritual and physical needs. It's about nourishing the body in a way that also nurtures the soul. So, when we think about the food and drink that Islam allows, we need to recognize that there's a deeper purpose behind these choices. It's not just about taste or preference, it's about purity. When Allah commands us to consume only the good things, He's encouraging us to seek food that not only supports our health, but also strengthens our connection to Him. This is where the conversation about prohibited foods becomes more meaningful. Understanding these guidelines isn't just a matter of what's on our plates. It's about aligning ourselves with the divine wisdom that guides every aspect of our lives, from the food we eat to the way we live. Now that we've explored the broader concept of food as a blessing in Islam, let's get into the specifics. One of the most well-known dietary prohibitions in Islam is the consumption of pork. If you've ever wondered, why pork? Isn't it just another type of meat? Let's dive deeper into the wisdom behind this prohibition. In Surah Al-Baqarah 2:173, Allah states, He has only forbidden you dead meat, blood, the flesh of swine, and that on which has been invoked the name of other than Allah. At first glance, this might seem straightforward, but when you look closer, you realize there's more to it than just dietary restrictions. The question arises, why pork, specifically? Let's unpack this. Of course, there are health-related considerations that often come up in discussions about pork. Pigs can carry diseases, and pork has been linked to a range of health issues if not prepared properly. But the Islamic prohibition goes far beyond mere health concerns. It's rooted in something deeper, spiritual purity. In Islam, pigs are viewed as impure animals. This impurity is not just physical but spiritual, as they are considered unclean in both a literal and metaphorical sense. Consuming pork is seen as a violation of the inner purity that Islam strives to uphold. But the wisdom behind this is not solely about avoidance of harm. It's about maintaining a clear connection to Allah. When we follow the guidelines that Islam provides, we are not just protecting our physical health, we are protecting our spiritual well-being. Just as you wouldn't allow toxic substances to enter your body, Islam teaches that you should also be cautious about what enters your soul. The act of consuming something deemed impure is believed to affect your inner state. And that's why pork is specifically forbidden. It's not just a food choice, it's a matter of keeping yourself spiritually clean. This brings us to an important point. Islamic dietary laws are not arbitrary. Every prohibition, including the ban on pork, is intended to guide believers toward a higher level of purity, both physically and spiritually. It's a reminder that our actions and choices, no matter how small they may seem, are linked to our faith and our relationship with Allah. By adhering to these guidelines, we align ourselves with divine wisdom, cultivating a life that is pure, healthy, and full of gratitude. Let's now turn to another significant topic, alcohol. We've all heard that alcohol is forbidden in Islam, but have you ever wondered why? Couldn't a little glass of wine at dinner just be harmless fun, a way to unwind, or even a social activity? It's easy to see why some might think so. After all, alcohol is deeply embedded in many cultures around the world and often associated with relaxation, celebration, or socializing. But Islam takes a different view, and the reasons for this are profound, extending far beyond just the effects on the body. Islam doesn't merely concern itself with the physical impact of alcohol, it's also deeply invested in how it affects the mind, the soul, and ultimately the connection with Allah. In Surah Al-Ma'idah 590, Allah provides clear guidance on this matter. O you who have believed, indeed, intoxicants, gambling, sacrificing on stone altars to other than Allah, and divining arrows are but defilement from the work of Satan, so avoid it that you may be successful. Notice the strong words used here, defilement and the work of Satan. This is not a light matter. Alcohol in all its forms is categorized as a harmful substance that leads to impurity, not just physically, but spiritually. You might be thinking, but isn't a little bit okay? The issue is not the quantity, it's the effect that alcohol has on the mind and soul. When you drink, you lose clarity. You cloud your judgment, and you impair your ability to think clearly and make decisions that are in line with your faith. Why does this matter so much in Islam? Because Islam places a strong emphasis on maintaining clarity of mind, the ability to connect with Allah, reflect on your actions, and engage in worship with full awareness. When that clarity is compromised, even for a moment, your connection to the divine is weakened. And in Islam, that connection is everything. It's through clear-mindedness that we are able to properly worship, fulfill our duties to others, and live a life aligned with the teachings of Allah. But it doesn't stop there. The effects of alcohol ripple out beyond the individual. When someone becomes intoxicated, they are more likely to act impulsively, to lose control, and to forget their responsibilities. They might hurt themselves, harm others, or even neglect their obligations to their family, community, and faith. Alcohol diminishes the ability to fulfill one's role as a responsible, conscious, and faithful Muslim. So the prohibition of alcohol is not about punishing pleasure, it's about protecting the soul from harm. It's about ensuring that our minds remain sharp, our hearts stay pure, and our connection to Allah is never compromised. The wisdom behind this command is rooted in love and care. Allah wants us to remain the best versions of ourselves, constantly aware of our purpose and relationship with Him. But here's where it gets even more profound. The concept of forbidden foods is only one side of the coin. Islam doesn't just tell us what to avoid, it actively guides us toward what is halal, that which is pure, permissible, and beneficial. Think of it this way. You wouldn't fuel a high-performance car with low-quality gas, would you? The same principle applies to your body and soul. Islam encourages us to nourish ourselves with what helps us thrive, both physically and spiritually. Halal foods are not just about what you're allowed to eat. They're about supporting your overall well-being and strengthening your connection to Allah. They're chosen to ensure that what enters your body aligns with purity and divine wisdom. But here's the real kicker. Even when something is halal, how we approach it matters just as much. Islam teaches us to pay attention to every step of the process. The way food is obtained, was it earned through honest work? The way it's prepared, was it done with care and cleanliness? And even the manner in which we consume it, are we eating with gratitude, moderation, and mindfulness? The broader principle here is taqwa, or God consciousness. When we're mindful of what we eat, how we eat, and the blessings that make our meals possible, we're practicing taqwa. It's a form of worship in itself. In Surah Al-Araf 31, Allah reminds us, "Eat and drink, but do not be excessive. Indeed, He likes not those who commit excess." This verse is a gentle but powerful reminder that even permissible actions, like eating, must be done with balance and respect. The act of consuming halal food becomes a means of worship, an expression of gratitude to Allah for His blessings. It's a way of saying, I value what you have provided, and I choose to honor it by using it to strengthen my body, soul, and faith. So when we think about halal and haram, it's not just about rules. It's about living a life of intentionality and purity. It's about fueling ourselves in a way that honors the Creator, acknowledges His wisdom, and keeps us grounded in our faith. This perspective transforms a simple meal into a spiritual act, one that nourishes both body and soul. As we come to the end of our journey, here's the essence of it all. The prohibition of certain foods and drinks in Islam is far more profound than it may seem at first glance. It's not just about saying no to certain things. It's about saying yes to a life of purity, discipline, and devotion. These guidelines serve as a test of faith, a way to demonstrate our commitment to Allah's wisdom, even when it challenges our personal desires. They remind us to be mindful of what we consume, both physically and spiritually, shaping us into more conscious and grateful individuals. Every time we choose what is halal, we're making a powerful statement. We're not just feeding our bodies, we're nourishing our souls, aligning our actions with divine guidance, and reaffirming our place on the path toward Allah. In the end, these choices, seemingly small, carry profound spiritual weight. They're acts of worship, moments of obedience, and steps toward a higher standard of living that brings us closer to our Creator. And that's the beauty of it. Every bite we take can be a reminder of faith, gratitude, and the infinite blessings Allah has bestowed upon us. So, next time you find yourself making a food or drink choice, pause for a moment and reflect. Ask yourself, is this choice bringing me closer to Allah? Is it nourishing not just my body, but also my soul? Remember, these prohibitions aren't random or without reason. They're a part of a much bigger picture, designed to help us live in harmony with our faith and purpose. If today's discussion shed some light for you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us continue exploring these profound topics. And here's a thought to leave you with. What's your perspective on the wisdom behind these dietary rules in Islam? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear from you and keep this conversation alive. Until next time, stay mindful, stay blessed, and keep striving to live a life filled with purpose and gratitude. May peace and blessings be with you always.